Hi everyone, this is Miss Pakasal from GST Academy. We're going to talk about Basic 4 and we'll review the storybooks that we have learned in class. The first book that we're going to talk about is Odysseus and the Wooden Horse. Let's see the GST Input book. We have a cover talk, and if we can take a look at the cover talk, let's take a look at the cover page. Like you can see, there is a horse-shaped carriage. Inside, we don't know what it is, but compared to the size of people, the size of the wooden horse is really big. Now, the title will be Odysseus and Wooden Horse. The characters are going to be Troy, Odysseus, and lots of great people. And the problem is going to be the queen got in love with someone that she should not. And then what had happened? Yes, the king said, guys, go there and get my queen. And they started to have a war. And to have the war, one of the groups got the wooden horse and tried to invade the other country. That was a problem. And then what had happened at the end? Yes, thanks to the wooden horse, who won? Yeah, you can't see the notes that you made in your book, so let's try to double check it. Now, let's take a look at the background knowledge. If you take a look at the background knowledge, here goes the beginning of the chosen word. Now, Hermes, the messenger god, discussed 3 stories related to Odysseus. The first one was chosen horse. Now, it started with the chosen word itself. In general, all 3 of the stories related to the Odysseus role at the end of the word, but most famous of these is the story of a chosen horse. Why is it famous? Well, according to myth, the chosen word began when Zeus was given a golden apple, which he was to bestow on the goddess who was the most beautiful. Zeus felt uncomfortable with this responsible, so he gave the responsibility to Paris, the Prince of Troy. Here, he will also play an important role when we read a book, right? So, Paris was to judge between Hera, Aphrodite, and Athena in order to determine which of the goddesses was the loveliest. Now, Aphrodite wanted to win, so she promised Paris that if he chose her, she would make Helen, the queen of Sparta, fall in love with him. Oh, here goes one of the characters, right? Now, let's talk more in detail about how these characters are related. Here are the important words for page 1 through 15. Now, look after. This is very important, right? It is same as take care of. I hope that you guys can make a note of this. Content, runaway. This is important. Another word for runaway would be escape. Escape. There is around it. Capture would be hold or catch. General, laid out closely. Hollow, risky. Dangerous, right? Dangerous. And then next one is going to be worth. Chose, wheeled, dared, crowed. And then the words for page 19 to 31. Let's see. Cleave, in case, celebrate, victory, echo, go. Tummy, gradually, line, paved, leather, narrow, snoring, plank, creak, and stir. So stir has 2 meanings, right? One is a mix, and the other stir is that, let's say that there is a word, and then the people living in the country can be stirred by the word. Let's see the comprehension test. We have talked about all these questions in class, but I want to point out some of the important questions. Who was Helen and where did she come from? This will play an important role to see why the word started. And then the next one is going to be, what was Odysseus' plan that he told to the general? The ones that I check, please rewrite the answers and send it to me. I want to triple check it. And next one is, where did Odysseus start building the wooden horse? And what were two different ideas on the giant wooden horse by Trojans? So some say, yes, that wooden horse might be that. And the other people think like, oh, it could be a threat, it could be a trick. So try to write about two ideas that Trojans, how the people thought about the giant horse that was made by Trojan. Let's see the next one for page 19 to 31. Why didn't the brave soldiers say anything while they were in the wooden horse? So here, they're very brave, but they're inside the wooden horse, and they were not allowed to talk at all. Why did they not say? Why did they not say? Yes, there was a reason, right? So try to rewrite it and send it to me for the triple check. And then another very important one is going to be, until when had Trojans celebrated their victory? So Trojans thought, hey, we won, let's celebrate it. So they were celebrating it, but until when did they celebrate? That's important. Now, next one. After the gate was opened, how many Greek soldiers poured into the city? And what was Odysseus remembered as? Please write the answers and send them to me. Next one, self-comprehension. Now, you might want to double check on the giant wooden horse, and then Queen Helen, she's actually the reason why the war has been occurred, and forgave. Who forgave whom and why? And now let's see the comprehension in detail. For translating or for writing the Korean meaning, what you can do is put slashes into some pieces. Let's see. Long ago in Greece, there was a beautiful queen called Helen. Yes. 오래전 그리스에는 헬렌이라 불리는 아름다운 여왕이 있었습니다. So what you can do is try to find the subject and then go to the verb. If you go this order, when you translate, this can help you a lot. Next one. She should have been happy and content, but she wasn't. 그녀는 행복해야만 했다. And content, 만족해야 했다. But she wasn't. 하지만 그녀는 만족하지도 않았다. After 9 years of fighting, the soldiers wanted to go home. 8년이라는 긴 싸움 동안 군인들은 집으로 가고 싶었다. So, if you already done the translating, please put slashes for the subject, verb, and conjunctions and take the pictures and send it to me. Let's see the wrap up. Well, we have done this one in class, but let's try to work on summarizing. The title of the passage is Pie Across the Ocean. For British and American people, pies are more than desserts. They are special, traditional dishes. And some are not for dessert. They are dinner. What are they in here? What are we talking about? Yes, we're talking about pies. In Britain, meat pie is a traditional dinner. At first, most meat pies used birds. What? In the Middle Ages, people often cooked birds called magpies. They put them in round pastries. They put the bird in the pies, guys. Over time, these pastries got the name pie. It came from magpie. Today, steak pies are most common. Oh, steak pies are the pies that have meat inside. And apple pie is symbolic of Americans. So when we think about apple pie, we can think about those people from America. Europeans made apple pies first. Oh, but actually it's European who made it first, right? They came to America with it. Over the years, it became a U.S. cultural symbol like hot dogs. Yes, when you hear the word hot dog, we can think about, America or Americans. In World War II, American soldiers even said, we are fighting for mom and apple pie. Later, companies used these ideas. Now, let's see the first one. The first paragraph is talking about, pies. how special pies are. They're not desserts, but they are dinners. And next one is going to be origin, how the pies have been originated. And then next one is going to be compare the pies in America and Europe, especially the apple pie. Apple pie. Now, let's see the first question. What is passage mainly about? Well, the passage is mainly about pies. Yes. And let's do the next one. Next one is going to be here. What is British traditional pie? British traditional pie, where can you find it? Yes, here we go. In Britain, meat pies is a traditional dinner. Then you can write it down. Meat pies is a traditional dinner. Now the next one. Here we go. Next one is going to be, why did people use birds in their pastries? Where could we find the word about birds in pastry? Yes, it's the second paragraph. So if you take a look, why do people use birds in the pastries? Let's see. It's because. Here, let's see. In the Middle Ages, people often cooked birds called magpie. They put them in a round, and over time, they got the blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I did what you can write it down. It's because they often cook the birds called magpies. I think that's why you can write it down in here. And then the next one is going to be, here we go. Who eats apple pies as as their tradition? So who's eating apple pie as a tradition? Let's see the third paragraph. Well, then here, over the years, it became U.S. cultural symbol. Then you can say Americans eat apple pie as their tradition. That's what you can do. And then let's see the next one here. What other food is cultural symbol of U.S.? Okay, so apple pie is a cultural symbol of U.S., but what's the other one? Yes, it's a hot dogs. Then you can say hot dogs is a cultural symbol of U.S. That's what you can write it down. Now then, let's take a look at the wrap up over here. Well, as you can see, it's showing